So we went and added it up. So this grass, when we moved the chickens, the meat birds off of it, this has been 12 days. So I'll throw that back up here so you can see how quickly it recovered. Which of course, this is bald, it just was. It didn't have a lot of grass anyway. But what grass was there, how quickly it recovered. And so anyway, after we get the hens up there, our laying hens, and they've ate up the grass there, we'll sweep that back around and give them this area again, and we'll just alternate probably back and forth between this one and that one and giving her a rest. I think that whole area Michael is going to have to weed eat, and he weed eated it before. We will have more birds in it this time. We'll have like 80 or more birds. I don't remember how many, but we'll have a lot in there, so they'll do more damage to it than what we have going on right now. But there's still the grass is growing. I don't know if you can tell down at the bottom, it's pretty thick, and it grew back really, really fast, and Michael cut it pretty short, and so I'm impressed with how quickly it grew back. So not too worried. We were getting worried that this wouldn't be enough space and that we would end up having to go up the hill and asking his brother, can we come up in their yard? But right now it seems like it will tolerate the animals that we're putting on it, so at least for the time being, and so we're glad about that. Well, I was talking about all our peace that we had. I forgot to mention, I don't know if you can see right there, poor Michael, when he was out doing the chores today, he stepped in that mud and he slipped and went completely down, completely covered in mud. He got up thinking he was okay, but later he could tell he did throw something out in his back, and so he is suffering with that. Got a headache now, and his back's hurting. But anyway, so watch out for the mud. Be careful. Watch where you're stepping. Okay, so now you can see how tall this grass has got. A lot of it is as tall or taller than the chickens. Some of it, depending on what's growing, is shorter. But down in all that, it's super, super as tall as them. Actually, down at the very bottom, it's way taller than they are. Look at that chicken getting my ring. Anything bright and shiny. These two roosters, these are good roosters. Here's Roosteroo over there, and here's the next one I'd choose from. No, y'all can't have my ring. Michael don't like that he doesn't know if it really affects anything, but the way his comb is kind of crooked. Michael don't know if that'd be a genetic thing that would not be a good thing. I think they're supposed to have straight combs, but it may not matter. Y'all stop it with my ring. But they're both calm. They both come up to me all the time. This one actually, he jumps in my lap all the time. But this one's the one that Micah named Roosteroo, and with him naming him and being his buddy and him having the zip tie on his ankle, that kind of means he'd be the rooster we'd keep. But maybe we can talk Michael into a backup in case something happened to him. I don't know. But they're almost the size of full grown. I cannot remember off the top of my head, and I'll go count up. I'll throw up on the screen how many weeks old they are. But they're getting nice and poofy and filled out, and the roosters are starting, let's see if y'all let me see it, starting to get their bright, like gold color, like a gold watch kind of like color to their feathers. They're starting to get real pretty, nice red combs.
Anna said she thinks one crowed today.
Do what?
Ariana says she thinks one crowed today.
Oh, maybe we got one of ours crowing. The hens are just now starting to get a little bit of red to them. They're still pretty pale in their combs, but anyway, they're getting big and they're starting to grow. Now, I say that, it might be if I saw them beside Wyoming, I might think that, oh, they're still pretty little, but I wish. Go get me a meat bird, Sarai. We'll compare them to a meat bird. Okay, so I don't remember the ages. I think that they are 3 weeks different. So this is Henny Penny. Naughty chicken. Sarai, grab her. All right, they're wanting to come assert their dominance, but let's see if we can compare. So this is Henny Penny back there. She was in the meat birds. She was our surprise Buff Orpington. I think it's 3 weeks difference. I'll throw up on the screen how many weeks difference. Don't just put her down and just don't let them, not put her down. Put her down on the ground so we can see her height. And if they go to peck her, you go on, Rooster. You can see how much difference she is. You stop it, Roosteroo. There's a hen beside her. Put her back down like she was. Okay, that's a hen right there beside her. Go on, Rooster. So you can see the difference in her size between that other hen and her. I think it's 3 weeks difference. So this is a rooster Saraya's holding in the meat birds. Let's see if we can compare him with this rooster. Stop it. You gotta peck him, or pop him. Pop his rooster, stop it. Well, he got loose. He's the one in the front, and you can see the size difference between him and the others. They're gonna have to get used to each other because this week we're moving the meat birds in here, and our extra Buff Orpington roosters are staying with the meat birds because they are going to be meat birds. as well, and so they're gonna have to get used to each other. But there's Miss Wyoming. But anyway, I don't know if you could really see the size difference or not, but I think it's just a 3 weeks difference. There's Miss Henny Penny. She's still sweet as can be, even though I haven't been coming out to see them much. So let's see. Wyoming's full grown. Let's see if I can get a picture of her beside the other buff so we can see the size difference. All right, so this is where the chicken tractor was while we were gone. So really, they're just getting poop in the sleeping area at night. It's going through the wire bottom. So that's the amount of manure for 4 days. And since they're getting out, they're not eating a whole lot of the grass down. I mean, they eat some of it in the morning before we open the door. So let's see if I can let you see. Wyoming's in there. So you can see the size difference. They're not quite, she's still bigger, but they're getting a lot closer. Y'all mean old chickens, goodness gracious. They're getting a lot closer to her, but they still got a little growing to go. So we were gone for 4 days, and this is where the quail were, and so you can see this is where they were before. And so this was Michael moving them every day, was back here. And so just in the 4 days, you can see how much they took the grass down, even though they are up off the ground just a little bit with the wire bottom. So they still are eating a lot of grass through the bottom. You can see all that manure for just 4 days, I mean. And so they, this grass will probably grow back much, much, much greener and nicer than it was, just because all the manure. But anyway, I just wanted you to see, even though we have the quail off the ground, they are getting a lot of grass out of it too. Now, I knew Michael left some elderberry way down that's still in the fence, and that's what the chickens get up under for shade. Do you see them little light green colored blossoms, little umbrellas? That is all elderberry. All of that is elderberry. Elderberry. That's hard to say a whole bunch of times. All over there. It goes all the way back to the trees. There is a ton of elderberry. And then all the lower stuff is all blackberries, and the blackberries go way, way back in there too. So I don't know if we'll be harvesting any of it because there's a ton of ticks here. And I don't know if anybody wants to go venturing off to get all the ticks. We just found several batches of wild roses growing in the chicken fence too. So that'd actually be nice. It'll grow up and make a little evergreen hedge for them to, well, kind of, it depends on the winter. But a little shady place for them to get in. So this is where this batch of elderberry is what Michael kept in the fence. And the chickens, you'll be able to see the tunnels. Let me get you down here. They have tunnels all throughout there. And that's where they spend all day getting in the shade, getting out of the hot sun. And that also means that all these elderberries are getting fertilized all day long. Well, at least the hot part of the day. And so these ought to grow really, really nice, especially in time. That you can see the little flower heads coming on. And anyway, so I'm excited. We just saw the flower heads the other day, and I did not realize that all of that is elderberries. That's impressive. So there's this thingamajigger growing everywhere all around. The kids are positive it's oregano. It probably is. They said it tastes like it. I can't have oregano. Can't stand the smell. And it does smell like it. And so I don't know if there's another look-alike, but it is everywhere, all in the yard, all over the chicken area and out of the chicken area. I mean, it's just all that, all over, all this, everywhere. So if it's oregano, we have a ton of oregano. More wild roses all over the place, and blackberries. See all them blackberries starting on? They're just green, but they're all over the place. We will not get most of them. The birds will get most of them, or the ticks will get us, one or the other. But the elderberry goes all the way back over there into the woods where the trees are. Well, the rain did clean off most of the chicken poop that they got on top, but they've been back. Oh, just kidding. Soraya did it. What a good little girl Soraya is today. Just kidding. Nothing to see here. Nothing impressive. Let's open up and see what Soraya did today. So she got the quail area cleaned out. They need some more sand. They didn't eat that up, and she gave them fresh grass in there for bedding. And there's a pretty little egg. They seem to lay in the afternoon, and we've been getting 10 to 13 eggs a day. And so that's probably getting close to everybody laying. We figure we've got at least 14 hens, but we have no idea. But anyway, some of these eggs actually do, when you crack them open, they have the sky blue inside.
This is the one. That one's
very blue.
All of them are, but that's the
Well,
most.
hello, Quailsy Wellsies. So today when you put that in there, they did the same thing where they were all calm.
Yeah, they were calm. They didn't sound like squeaky shoes, but they were calm.
They didn't sound like squeaky shoes, but were they letting you pet them or anything?
Well, yeah, I tried to pet them once. It got a little bit hyper.
A little bit hyper. So not as happy as the first time.
Yesterday when I put stuff in their mama, they were real calm, and I accidentally threw it on top of one and it didn't mind.
Really?
Yeah.
So they get happy for some reason when you put the straw in there or put the grass in there. Well, hello, mister. All right, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but right here is where we started the chicken tractor originally. And back here, we didn't have anything. So can you see that that is a more yellow green? And then up here is a darker green. And kind of as it stair steps up, it lightens up, I think, just because the manure hadn't had time to water as much. But I don't know if you can tell, but it's very clear when you're out here. You can see the clear difference of where the tractor moved. And then actually we kicked it to the side as it came over here some. And so when you turn around, let me see. It's not on the same exact pass, but you can see over there, it's more green. It hasn't had as much time to get the manure down in it. But where we originally started, over there, it's nice and green, dark green there. Okay, here's my rain lily from my grandma. So it had been dry, and then we had days of rain the 4 days that we were gone. So we came home on Sunday. Today's Wednesday. So she told me it would come up after it rained if it bloomed this year. And so not yesterday, but the day before. So Monday, I noticed it was starting to just barely come up. And so again, it's raining today, so maybe we'll get extra flower stalks coming up. But it looks like it's going to be a beautiful pink color, about my favorite color. So it's looking beautiful.